Hi everyone, welcome to Anime Max Podcast. It's me, Steven, and my co-host Jennifer, and we're here to do a R&D on No Guns Life episode 10, Phantom Limb. So, Jen, how's your day going?
Dude, it's a day. This is a week. Isn't that like the thing is when you can just be like, yeah, this is a day.
All right.
It's been a
Same
day.
here. I mean,
I was gonna say, the country is falling apart. Our country is on fire. The world is on fire. I don't know. It's almost the end of the month, so rent is almost due.
oh yeah, it is almost the end of the month.
Yeah, see, it's almost the end of the month, but we get a leap day, so.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
I guess that's happening. I don't know.
All right, I'll start.
Yeah.
So the episode starts with it's a flashback scene. I think it takes. I mean, it takes place in the past. With you see Colt's mother is in the hospital bed, or she's in a bed. I'm not sure if it's in a hospital or not, but. No, I don't think it's at a bed. I mean, in the hospital, it's in a bed. She's on the bed, and she has like a heart rate monitor machine connected to her, and he's talking to his sisters while he's giving them food. And I forgot what they were talking about. Oh, damn it.
I think they're talking about like food, and he's like, "Oh no, you guys eat," and they look dead in their face, like in their eyes.
Oh, yeah.
They just look dead. Which I mean, like I get that.
Yeah, because
That's fine.
he was giving them food that is just wasn't great food. It was just like they really are poor, and it seemed like it made me find out it's like, yeah, his mother is sick, obviously, because she's in the bed and she has a heart rate monitor machine just connected to her, and I don't know, she has a air mask, yeah, oxygen mask. So look like she is, I think technically she is probably almost dying, or whatever it is that's wrong with her.
Oh yeah, his mom's gonna die.
Yeah. It just said that this episode makes me sad later on because it's just completely forgotten about. Next.
So I'm gonna say this. I feel okay about this episode.
Yeah.
I feel okay about this episode.
So yeah, after that scene, it goes back to Michael Arm's ceremony begins, and people are protesting about him not being a hero and getting kicked out, which they are technically all right. He is not a hero, but
Yeah, no, like fair. So wait, then did he get fully exposed as not a hero?
I don't think so, because if that's the case, wouldn't the government be in big trouble? I don't know. But then again, it's corrupt. Whatever.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, could they also have just painted it as like, oh, he actually went rogue,
Oh.
and like we didn't know?
But then why would they celebrate his death in a ceremony?
Well, but they could still be. You could still be under, right? You could still be under like, oh no, he's a war hero, and then it's just like one of those like conspiracy theory type things of like,
Oh, yeah.
oh, he's actually like a war criminal, and like
So, yeah.
they know, and they're covering it up.
I guess it's painted as a conspiracy theory that he's not a hero.
I don't know though. I mean, we know he's not a hero, so like,
Yeah, obviously.
we know he's a bad person.
Because I do remember Oliver she called her police, as her fellow policeman, and gave him a recording of what Megalarm had said during the fight that he was with Juzo about the truth. Like, it was a recording, and I mean, she gave them to the policeman, but they didn't do anything about it. It's just because I don't know. I don't even know if they did anything about it.
We don't know. It's possible that they did. It's also possible that they didn't. It's
Yeah,
like a huge mystery for us right now.
yeah, and as that is happening, Mary and Tetsuo are talking in the dumpster looking for Colt, and Mary mentions that she put a tracker on Colt to know his whereabouts, because apparently Tetsuo was worried about where can we find Colt, and Mary knows where he is because the tracker. And then Tetsuo mentions that the dumpster stinks, and the funny thing is that when Tetsuo mentioned it stinks here, Mary automatically assumed that it was her that stinks. And she smelled herself like, I don't smell anything. I don't know what you're talking about. It's like, no, it's not you, it's a dumpster.
I do like Mary.
Because this is funny because she actually checked on herself before.
I mean, I guess like get a double check
Yeah.
before you go like fly off the handle and start being like offended.
So yeah, they get out of the dumpster and they run into a robot. I think it's like one of those guard robots that I guess guard the ceremony. And they see them and they call them the robot is calling them trespassers and tries to attack them. Then Tetsuo uses Harmony, but he can't seem to control the robot, and they both see Colt in the sky, but Colt doesn't see them. So that's signals that they found Colt. And then it cuts to a scene where he's in the bar and he runs into this woman running away from a man. And I think he was after somebody because the thing is, I remember the last episode, these men wanted Colt to be killed, so I guess he was looking for Colt, and he accidentally found the man that was working for Colt instead of Colt. Because I don't think he had any idea that Colt had already met Tetsuo and Mary, because he wasn't there. And so yeah, he was talking to the guy, and yeah, it was like the guy was like feeling threatened by Juso, and he grabs the woman nearby and puts like he told Juso that he will kill her if he gets near him, and then Juso doesn't care for some reason. He just kicks him away from the woman and asks him about the terrorist attacks that he was involved with Colt. And the man says he was just a middleman, and he told the kid about Splitzenberg. And yeah, he was just a connection for him. He wasn't supposedly working with him. He was just a middleman, I guess. I don't know what they try to mean by middleman, but
Do they mean like not the person that like is bankrolling the whole thing, or like
I think so.
the cult thing, like he's just kind of the person who's like, hey, there's this person
Or maybe
that
he's
you could
working for
use.
him, but he didn't initiate the attack. Because there's like, he probably knows about the attack, but he doesn't. He's not the one that planned it. I think that's what they meant.
That's fair. There always has to be a mastermind.
Yeah, and then they cut back to a scene where Mary and Tetsuo are on top of the train, and they're looking around and seeing what the Boring Corporation is doing over there, and all of a sudden Colt runs into them. He sees them on top of a train. He then tells them that he's planting a bomb to kill the people of the Boring Corporation on the train. In the train. But for some reason, Tetsuo and Mary want to stop him from doing something illegal, and they consider it wrong for killing a whole bunch of people in the train. It's just that when I was watching this scene, not knowing later on that in the plot line that there was innocent people in the train, I was kind of bothered. They felt wrong about him killing a corporation of people.
Wait, you felt conflicted because he wants to kill people that work for a corporation?
No, I feel conflicted that Mary and Tetsuo say how wrong it is.
Oh, until you learned later.
Yeah, but thing is, they had no idea that there was innocent people on the train. They just assumed that he shouldn't do it anyway. I mean,
is that though the mentality of like, oh, killing anyone is wrong?
Yeah, that's what the mentality they have. That killing anyone is wrong. That's what it's a superhero mentality thing again.
Yeah, I was gonna say the like lawful good mentality, the like lawful good alignment.
Yeah,
AKA like worst alignment. Is it lawful good and true good, or like is it lawful, true, and chaotic? Yeah, so it's like lawful good and true good are like boring.
Yeah.
To be. I need to find that chart. There's a chart where someone like, you've seen alignment. Everyone's seen alignment charts, right?
Yeah.
And it's like someone drew on it and was like, oh, the rectangle is snooze, the like edgy square, the like edgy area.
It just bothers me because they're also doing something illegal. But it's like...
Everyone's doing something illegal. Let's be real. Everyone's doing something illegal.
So there's like certain laws you can't break and you could break.
Could break all the rules. Oh no.
And then, so yeah, when they're talking and arguing on the top of the train, the men see them on top of the train because they make it so obvious with them arguing. They end up starting opening fire on them because Colt eventually escapes from the open fire. And
no, they were shooting at them, and they realized I'm on top of the train.
Yeah, because eventually Colt escapes from the open fire, and Mary tells Tetsuo to run after Colt because she wants to stop him from doing what he's about to do. And so eventually they're on the top of a moving train, and Tetsuo is trying to stop Colt from pursuing the terrorist attack, and they run into a man with a laughing face and with blonde hair. It was a weird character design, but it was creepy because he has like a weird laughing face and he had a suit on. It's just so funny as a blonde wig on top. But yeah, and then Tetsuo tells Colt that he will fight him while he runs away. Because the guy was after Colt, and Colt said that he will just fight him and he'll let him run away, not blow up the train, to just as a distraction for him to run away from the scene completely. But Colt refuses, and he uses the opportunity to set the bomb to explode. And the man takes Tetsuo as hostage and tells him that this attack was a ploy to set him as a terrorist for killing innocent people on the train, instead of just instead of destroying the supplies and killing the people that's part of the boring corporation. Because the thing is, they end up splitting the train in half. Like, not splitting. They let one car go, which has the car that has a bomb and the innocent people. The car that doesn't have the bomb and the innocent people are the people that's part of the foreign corporation. So they decided to split the cars apart. And all of a sudden, Colt realized that he's doing something wrong. And he doesn't want innocent people to get killed. So as soon as the man splits the train cars, Colt jumps to the other train and tries to stop the bomb. But he gets shot multiple times. And they cut to a scene where Mary sees Tetsuo struggling to use Harmony. And they cut back to the scene where Tetsuo jumps to where Colt is and grabs the bomb and throws it in the air for it to explode in the air. So afterwards, he takes Colt with him to escape. It just makes me think that Colt. When I saw this scene, it showed that Colt isn't a bad person because he doesn't want to. He obviously didn't want innocent people to get killed. So go ahead.
It's because you can't be a bad person.
Yeah, so
because you can't be a bad person and then be killed for dramatic effect. Because no one cares if you're a bad person that is like killed for dramatic effect in the like, oh, my family type of death. No one cares. Right?
No one cares when you're killing people from a bad corporation.
That's also true. I mean, at least in media. I guess real life is different, but like in media, you know. See, I told you. Wait, okay, I can form that sentence.
Go ahead.
I called it at the beginning. Big corporations are the enemy.
Yes, they are.
Corporations, monopolies, are the enemy. They're the true enemy in this show.
Yeah. And they're doing dealings with the government and they're winning wars.
I guess. Legality.
It's just so funny because it's like this whole show is in a world with a corrupt government, and yet they're still worrying about doing things legal or illegal when the country is terribly corrupt.
But that's an interesting thing, right? Which is like the people that we see worried about legality are people that you would probably define as like poor.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very true though, because if you're poor even now, like in the real world, things affect you a lot more. Because there's like consequences like jail time.
Yeah.
Fines. But if you have money, it doesn't like mean anything to you.
I don't know. That's why celebrities get caught with legal shit and get away with it.
Well, I mean, I know that they've done that. People often also point to like speeding tickets and parking tickets.
No.
As like the fact that they're a flat fee. What? They're like $200, like depending.
I don't know. Never.
At least or like a speeding ticket is like $200 or $100 or whatever. I don't know. I haven't gotten one in a really long time. But people always point to things like, and I point to it too, which is like, if you're working a minimum wage job, like a $100 to $200 ticket, like that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But like, if you're making like, if you make thousands of dollars, even just like a day or whatever, a month or whatever, that's marginal.
Yeah.
Money. And so I know that case that's made where it's like, fines prohibit poor people from doing things. They do not prohibit rich people from doing things.
Yeah, the only thing is that now they can take away your license or your car
Can't help it. But then what? You just get another ticket for like driving without a license.
Yeah.
And I guess if you make enough money, that ticket also means nothing.
Oh,
Right?
I guess. I don't know.
I mean, it depends on how much money you make. If you make Jeff Bezos money, apparently, possibly nothing is illegal. Legality in money isn't interesting.
Yeah. It's just that this country, I don't know, the country that No Guns Life, I think the people in this anime is in, they look like a third world country, or I don't know, because the people look very poor. And
Is it a third world country, though?
I have no idea because
Or is it basically just like our country with just a dingier filter?
maybe it is a dingy filter.
Like a much worse filter. Because, like, America is losing the middle class.
Yeah.
And, like, the middle class is disappearing. Also, like, everyone is basically poor.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most people I know are, like, working poor.
Yeah.
Or there's a term for it. I think it's like working poverty or something.
Oh.
Where it's like you are on the poverty line, but like working. Like full time. It's an actual thing and it's terrifying.
Well, I don't know. I just feel, I guess the world that they are, the view that they're giving us is just, the people are extremely poor, and
Oh yeah. They're hella poor.
they're trying their best to make it through in this world. Because even the place that Juzo live is like falling apart.
Oh geez.
And all right, so I'll go back to the plot.
Yeah. Let's circle back to what's important.
Yeah, so after Tessero and Colt escapes, there's a scene that I don't know, but this is a weird scene because you see the machine that Colt had took control of. Not Colt, Tessero had took control of, and he's like it's like in like a it's like what do you call those things, the thing that travels to the dam that the water travels to. Yeah, they're like in an empty dam, and I mean the robot is an empty dam, and it says sorry, and I don't know why he wrote sorry on the floor, like on the concrete floor. It's like, wait, sorry for controlling the robot. I really didn't understand that scene, but
Probably. Well, because it would make sense if Tetsuro wrote that, because then it's like he's learned from Juzo kind of the weight of that decision and doing that.
But the thing is, it's just a machine that has no free will or any. It's not a human being. That's what I'm saying.
I bet it's still just the general idea, though, of like
Okay.
sentience and like maybe even more just like an acknowledgement.
Oh, I guess because maybe Ju's so obedient to his head that using harmony is wrong, no matter what the reason for it is. So
Maybe.
he has some, even though it isn't technically that wrong. I guess he, in his head, he already damaged himself to think that it's wrong. Something like that. So yeah, then after that, the scene cuts to Tetsuro talking to Mary about what went on, and she noticed that Tetsuro has burn marks on his face, and he didn't notice that. He was like, "Oh shit, I do have burn marks on my face," and Tetsuro said they could have been from the attack that went on from because he was struggling to use. I know he was not because he was struggling. I think it's because when the bomb exploded when he threw it, it probably did affect the explosion. I think it probably somehow damaged his face marks, even though he's far away.
Do you think it's to show that like he can take damage while not physically there?
Yeah, that's what I meant. That he can take damage while he's not physically there.
Yeah, to be like, oh, there is now an actual physical danger.
Yeah.
To using harmony. Physical danger.
Yeah, so he probably could still have the effect of the bomb while he's not physically there. Which I guess is pretty interesting. That he has to go through that. So Cole ends up waking up when they were talking, and he tells Mary that he tells Mary and Tessero that he is fine. That he doesn't need to go to the hospital thanks to her upgrades. That he just needs to walk home. And the thing is, when Mary and Tessero were talking about the burn marks, after that they were starting to talk about that Colt needs to go to the hospital, and they felt like he was very injured from those gunshots. But then Colt says he doesn't need to go to the hospital. So he also, after he said that he just needs to walk home, he also tells Mary that he stole the extension from the black market. And Mary was kind of disappointed because she thought that he had technically got it from her brother, right? I think that's what it was.
Yeah, it's her brother made it.
Yeah, he thought that. I mean, she had thought that Colt had knew her brother, but that wasn't necessarily the case. He just stole it. So Colt decides to ask Tessero to use Harmony to walk him home, and Tessero proceeds to walk. He goes on top of Colt and he controls him, and they proceed to walk to the house. As they were walking to the house, Colt thanks Tessero for helping him and not killing any innocents, and helping a person that he had barely knew. He compliments on his personality, and he said that you should never be ashamed of using your powers. He said that to use them for good, and don't let anybody tell you that I think he was just telling him that don't ever let anybody tell you to not use your powers for good, and you should never be ashamed of having them. So after he reaches home, he falls on the floor and dies as he sees his two sisters in the window. And Mary sees what's happening and she runs towards the scene. So this scene was kind of made me sad and feel for him, because it's just like he was just trying to do things for his sister, and he ended up risking his life for it. So that scene was kind of sad when I saw that. And then after that happens, it cuts to a scene where Juso is taking the man, well, talking to the man about the terrorist attacks, and then the man that wanted Colt killed in the previous episode, he arrives, and they thank Juso for helping him find the man that was involved in the terrorist attack. And Juso replies on how he didn't help. That he just wanted to know what was going on. He just wanted to find out. He went to do an investigation of his own. That he wasn't doing any job for him. And the man that was getting arrested said that he knows someone named Victor, and he hopes to see Juso again as he gets into the car. And Juso recognizes that name, and he's like in a state of shock. It's like, wait, I actually know someone named Victor. And the episode cuts off there. But there is a after credits scene, And Joseph arrives at his office, and and he runs into Pepper when he turns on the lights, and she mentions that she needs to talk to him, and that's where it ends. So, yeah, I think this was an interesting episode. It's just that I just feel bad that now the Cold sisters are left with a dying mother alone after their brother is dead. And it's just like nothing ever happens to them because of it. Like, it's just completely forgotten about in the next episode.
I like that that's your concern. It's like these two rando kids.
Yes.
Is your concern.
Because I want them to have a better life. I know this is the anime we're talking about.
I don't feel like anyone has a better life in this show.
Oh my god. Shoot. It just
Who
makes
would
the
have
whole
a better
world
life?
sadder. You see, this is why I'm just like, they shouldn't worry about doing things illegal if the freaking whole world is fucked.
Oh, but someone has to be the pinnacle of good. Someone has to be the pinnacle of good.
I guess so.
I don't know. I didn't love this episode.
Why does that?
I don't know. I do know. It felt like just like a really long-winded way of saying, hey, it's okay to use harmony if you're saving people.
Yeah, that's
And I was like, wow, it seems like there was a shorter way to do this.
Oh.
Well, because also, I'm like, I don't know. I felt like I didn't feel for Cole. I didn't feel for his like sister. So I was just like, okay, this just seems like we're trying to cram a whole relationship of people into like, let's call it like 15 minutes of TV. And then have you feel a lot for them. I was like, oh, I don't really have a connection to any of these people.
Why? Because you only know them for 2 episodes?
Well, no, I'm just like, I don't know. I mean, everyone seems like they have their own problem in this. And so I'm like, okay. Like, I get it. It's sad. He had siblings, and now they're alone in the world, and the mom's going to die soon.
Yeah, so where are they going to go?
I don't know. They could be street urchins.
It just bothers me that, because, apparently Tetsuro or Mary or just doesn't do anything about it after this episode. Or
So, like, you have to take care of yourself.
yeah.
Because if you don't take care of you, it's the you have to put your own oxygen mask on in the plane first.
Oh God.
It's true, right? It's like, ooh, you have to put on your own oxygen mask first, and then help.
It's just weird because this feels like
Others.
everything is left unresolved. The only plot that is resolved is that Tetsuro realizes that him using harmony isn't a bad thing. That
is the plot that's important, though, for the main characters of this show, of this media.
Because
like, Colt's not the main character.
Yeah,
the sisters aren't the main characters.
They just throwaway characters. That's what it felt like, and I just didn't like that they did that. They made you feel for throwaway characters.
And they didn't do it great. Like, I have felt more for throwaway One Piece characters.
Oh, God.
Some of those characters, I'm like, oh my God, you have such a hard little life. Oh my God. I'm like, no one should have a hard life like that.
Well, I felt that Colt shouldn't have a hard life like that either.
Everyone has a hard life in this. Everyone's got a hard little life in this.
It's kind of hard to feel bad when the whole world is all messed up.
Yeah, like, I'm like, that's why I'm kind of like, everyone in this seems like they're having a hard little life. So, like, if everyone's having a hard life, it's hard to separate out, like, oh, this person has, like, an extremely hard life. I'm like, yeah, everyone is having a hard life.
Yeah.
It's kind of like if someone comes in and starts complaining about their day, and it's like, yeah, we're all having a day.
Oh, that's what you were
Thanks.
saying that earlier.
Well, no, that's just what I'm just saying all the time. Is I'm like, everyone is having a day generally, and it's like, I do it a lot, but I'm also like, I don't know, comparing trauma is hard.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, no, I see why it's sad. These two kids have lost their like sole provider, and their mom's gonna die.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna end up street urchins.
Pretty much.
And probably be taken by the Boring Corporation and like experimented on.
Probably so, because he did mention that his mom did work for the Boring Corporation as a tester.
Right. And that seems like that's what happens to like street urchins in this.
So maybe we will see them again.
Maybe we will. They'll be the new, what was the girl? And I don't remember what the sister's name was. Because I also didn't feel for her, so I was like, I forgot her name already.
Oh, because they killed her in the same episode that they showed them. It was...
Yeah, so I'm like, they're going to become the new them.
Yeah, basically, I think that's probably what could happen.
Don't remember names well.
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't remember names that well either. That's why I sometimes put the man, this man did this man did that. I just use descriptions because sometimes I forget what the person's name. So there sometimes don't even mention the person's name. So this is like I have to use the word the man.
Oh, it's true. Like last episode, I was just like, yeah, those two girls with the long heads.
And, you know, sometimes...
It was true. They were the things with the long heads.
And I noticed sometimes I get confused with names. Because I noticed early in the podcast, last week's episode, I said metal arm instead of megal arm.
You know. Basically the same.
Oh my god. Yeah, it is still a metal arm.
I mean, basically the same.
So yeah. I don't know, I give this episode like 7.5 to 7.8. But because it was okay. It wasn't terrible for me. I actually did feel for Colt. It's just that I wish his two sisters weren't forgotten about in the next episode and never mentioned. And just no one cares that now that his two sisters are going to be soon to be completely alone, homeless, and living a corrupt life. I guess because everyone's living a corrupt life, so you can't worry about theirs when you have to worry about yours.
See, that's why. Self-preservation, man.
Yeah.
Not enough people give self-preservation the credit that it deserves.
Yeah, I don't know. I just hate... I don't know. Deep down, I hate bad endings. Like... endings that everything stays the way it is.
But is that a bad ending, or is that sometimes just like
That's
the
just
realism
life.
ending?
Yeah, it is that realism
They're just
ending.
kind of like, yeah, like they're just kind of like, oh, that's life.
Yeah,
Sometimes things don't work out.
pretty much.
I love those endings.
Oh, I'm really not much a big fan of those endings because sometimes things do work out. Not everything doesn't work out.
Yeah. I'm okay with the everything works out ending every once in a while, but I do love a good realism ending.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So,
I'm attached to those endings sometimes.
yeah. I just want to know who the hell is Victor for.
I know who he is.
All
He's my
crazy
fave.
about it because the next
He's
two
my
episodes, he's not there. So
I know, and I'm mad about that. Just trust me. If you see him, you'll know you see him. Jesus.
So I still don't know who the hell Victor is to this day.
I love him. He's my fave.
God. but that's
He
okay.
and Cronin are my favorite characters
Because
in this.
we only have 2 episodes left to do R&Ds on. Yay!
We're catching up. Finally. Like a month later. Over a month later, actually.
I know.
2 months later.
You know, we could have caught up a long time ago.
Yeah. There's reasons for that, but
I know.
we never need to get
reason.
into.
Yeah.
We are going to be the bigger people, I guess. I don't know.
The champions that catch up.
Yeah, we're going to be the champions that just catch up. We're going to do it. I believe in us.
Yeah. So, is there anything else to discuss in this episode? What did you think about that guy's design with the laughing face and the blonde hair?
He looks like he has. Is it the? Hold on. I want to look something up really quick. I don't want to get that wrong. And I think I know what I'm thinking of, but I think that I might have the wrong name.
I think it's that one of those. The I think it's from the award shows. I think the laughing. It's like you see the laughing face.
The Hanya masks.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what I'm thinking of. Yeah, it's like the one where it's like, oh, if you look at it, I think like straight on, it looks angry, and if you look at it kind of from the top, it looks sad.
Yeah.
That's like the no theater masks.
Yeah, the no theater.
I did like that. I also like that they just kind of did it.
Oh yeah, that's what it is, the happy face and the sad face thing.
Yeah, I like that they just kind of did it and then like never talked about it.
Yeah, of course.
Well, but I like that it was just like a thing that was like, oh, if you recognize it, that's cool. If you don't, it didn't.
It doesn't really matter to the plot at all.
Yeah, like it didn't detract from anything if you didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
But if you did, it was kind of just this cool little like, oh, that's kind of got like a really cool design. It's like this thing. Yeah. Or it reminds me of the Oni masks that you see. The like Japanese demon masks.
You know, I could have felt like this episode could have been better directed if Tetsuro and Mary had knew that there was innocent people in the train and they tried to convince Colt not to. Not to do it because it's innocent people on the train and he doesn't believe him until the villain says it. I don't know. But
I mean, that kind of makes a little bit more sense though.
Yeah. Because they like just assuming that he shouldn't do it because of Horton Corporation is I mean, that's not the right way to do things because it's illegal to do that, but it just bothers me because it's just like Tetsuro escaped from wherever he was. So he is still technically doing something illegal himself. He's a runaway. But he's not thinking about that.
See, everyone's doing illegal shit. It's fine. We're all doing illegal shit.
I just hate it when people tell other people that you shouldn't do illegal things. Meanwhile, they're doing illegal stuff themselves. That's one thing I don't like about when it comes to comic books. Because it's illegal to be a vigilante, but yet they're telling other heroes to not kill. And it's just like a very big contradiction there. Whatever. So it's just like, it's okay for me to break this law, but if you don't break a different law that I don't agree with, I'm going to tell you to stop doing it.
I mean, it's not what people kind of do. Like, we have scales of, like, everyone speeds. And we're, like, okay with that.
I guess you're right.
But then some people aren't. Some people are like, oh, I never speed.
Yeah.
Like, we just have different scales of, like, oh, what are we willing to overlook?
I guess so.
And I think those change also as you end up with, like, as you have more money, as you have more power. what you're willing to possibly overlook. Gross.
So everybody has to overlook on what's illegal or legal. I don't know. Seems very contradictory to me still.
I mean, it will always be contradictory.
Yeah.
Right? Because there'll also always be the thing of, like, I know I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
Because, like, what else, like, how else do you get this done or whatever?
Well, at least they didn't say we're better than this, because it's like, you're doing something illegal, so you're not any better to be judging either, but okay.
I wonder if the, like, desire to be like, hey, that's illegal, don't do that, comes from, like, not even just, like, being the main character, but being the, like, I want society to be better.
Yeah.
Is to be like, yeah, it's inconvenient, but, like, to fix society, you kind of have to be like, yeah, we all have to follow rules.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's the, like, desire for society to get better.
Yeah, I guess that's what the story is trying to tell. I don't know.
Yeah.
You know, that usually doesn't work.
Oh, no, it doesn't work, but, like... okay, but who knows?
Well, I think we could end the episode here, because...
Yeah, I don't have anything. Like I said, I don't love this episode.
Yeah, you already stated the reasons why you don't like this episode.
I mean, it wasn't bad. It definitely was also, like, it didn't feel like a long watch. And I feel like No Gun's Life sometimes feels much longer than half an hour.
I don't know, but maybe they kill Colt.
In a bad way.
It makes me feel like the reason why they kill Colt is because you won't see this character ever again. So, you know, let's just kill him off for dramatic effect.
I mean, it's also to be the, like, ooh, someone has to say this thing that you think is terrible about yourself. You can use it for good.
Yeah, he was just a moral support. But...
And then he dies right after he says that.
Yeah.
So, like, those words possibly carry more weight.
Yeah, he served his purpose for the plot.
Yeah, see? Serve your purpose. You get murdered. That's fine.
It was for dramatic effect.
I mean, they killed the girls for dramatic effect early.
Those two girls. Those two
they
girls.
Killed them for dramatic effect.
No,
or at least one of them died.
One of them, and
yeah, for dramatic effect.
And the other one was, she was in a couple episodes, but she was only like a background character. She was like, she didn't even say anything. She was just in the background.
Fair.
And then she's on her. After Mary nurses her up, she's like on her own life again. So it's just like completely forgotten about.
Dope.
So this is gonna be the usual thing. You're gonna have characters that you see and they completely are forgotten about in the next few episodes. Or maybe in the same episode. But yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much it for this episode. So I hope you guys enjoyed the podcast, enjoyed the discussions that we had, and look forward to the next two episodes that we're almost done covering. We're almost there about catching up, so we'll see how this goes for the remaining two episodes, and wait until the next set of episodes on April. So far, we have made a Twitter for this page. For this podcast. And I haven't done anything with it. So you guys can hit us up there. What's the Twitter page?
God, I don't even remember.
Oh, God.
I literally think it might be Anime Max Podcast.
Oh, okay.
Like all one word. I think it's just all one word.
Well, I'll check it out later then.
That sounds correct to me as I say it. And I think it is because I was really surprised that I was able to like get that when I signed up. I was like, wow. That's crazy.
All right. So,
That sounds right in my head.
all right. So that's about it for this podcast. So, see you guys later and talk to you the next time.
Yay. I don't know.
You just got a little yay. It's
Yay.
okay. Bye.
Oh, bye.